Welcome dreamers. Ready to relax and unwind? Get comfy and let our soft night tales take you to magical places. Enjoy.
Imagine living in a world where the land itself feels alive, where every whisper of the wind carries a secret, and the skies above are filled with more than just clouds, they're filled with ancient powers, magic, and a deep, haunting mystery. In this world, one young warrior must confront the greatest enemy she'll ever face, her own fear. But will she find the strength to overcome it, or will it destroy her? Tonight, I'm going to share with you the story of Elijah, a young warrior from the cold, jagged highlands of Trelath, a place where magic runs as wild as the winds and as fierce as the blizzards that howl through the mountains. Elijah's journey isn't just one of survival. It's a story of self-discovery, of facing the darkness inside her and finding a power that she never believed she could control. But the question is, how can you face the storm inside you when you're not even sure if you're strong enough to stand against it? Let's find out. Elijah was born into the Silverfang clan, one of the most respected families in Trelath. The clan's warriors were known for their strength, their unwavering courage, and their mastery of elemental magic. Fire, ice, and wind, these were the gifts passed down from generation to generation. But for Elijah, the magic was something altogether different. Something strange. Unlike her siblings, who could summon walls of flame or control the fierce winds of the highlands with a single thought, Elijah's gift was unpredictable, wild, and uncontrollable. Her gift was the ability to shift, to turn into any creature she could imagine. A bird, a wolf, even a serpent. She could change her form completely, her body becoming whatever her mind conjured. At first, it was exciting. The first time she turned into a wolf, her small body transformed in a flash of pain and wonder, and she ran through the woods, feeling the wind against her fur, the earth beneath her paws. She felt powerful, unstoppable. But then came the fear. She couldn't control it. When she became the wolf, she felt like she was losing herself. Like the creature she had become was trying to take over her. She could hear its thoughts, feel its instincts, the primal urges that came with the animal she had become. The longer she stayed in that form, the more difficult it became to shift back, to be herself. She would feel pieces of herself slipping away, lost to the animal's mind. So, she stopped shifting. She practiced her swordplay, trained in the ways of combat with fire and ice. Anything but the shifting. Anything to keep herself from losing control. And yet, the gift was always there, lurking in the corners of her mind. It wasn't just a gift, though. It was a curse, and Elijah knew it. Her parents, both skilled warriors, had long since given up trying to understand her fear. They were proud of their children, of their strength. They'd raised her to be a warrior, to face every challenge head-on. But this was different. This was something Elijah couldn't talk to them about. They couldn't understand how it felt to lose yourself in the magic, to not know where your own thoughts ended, and the creatures began. The Yornakai, the shadow creatures that roamed the southern wastes, had long been a threat to the highlands. They preyed on fear, on weakness, and they were drawn to places of darkness. Elijah knew it was only a matter of time before the Yornakai would sense her fear, and when they did, there would be no hiding from them. She had to face this fear. She had to find a way to control her gift. But where could she go? Who could help her? One evening, as the moon hung low over the snow-covered mountains, Elijah made a decision. She would go to the Temple of Arya, a place that had been abandoned for centuries. Her parents had spoken of it in hushed tones, calling it a place of old magic, magic that had once been used by the first Silverfangs to protect the land from the Yornakai. It was said that the temple held secrets, secrets that might help a warrior unlock the true potential of their gift. She packed a small satchel, just enough to last her for the journey, dried meat, water skins, a bedroll, and a dagger for protection. Elijah knew this trip wouldn't be easy. The path to the temple was treacherous, winding through the frozen valleys and the jagged mountain passes that no one had dared to travel in years. The winds in the highlands were brutal, and the storms could strike without warning. But she had no choice. With a final glance at the keep where her family slept, Elijah set off into the night, her heart heavy with the weight of her decision. She couldn't keep hiding from herself. If she wanted to protect her people, to stop the Yornikai, she had to understand her magic. She had to learn to wield it, or else she would become its prisoner. The journey to the temple of Arya was long and grueling. For 3 days, Alicia walked through snowstorms and icy winds, her skin freezing with each gust of wind. The silence was deafening at times, broken only by the crunch of her boots in the snow. At night, she would find shelter in caves or huddle beneath the bare trees, trying to sleep, but always restless, her dreams filled with shifting shapes and whispers that seemed to come from nowhere. On the second night, she felt it, the familiar tug at the edge of her mind, the pull of the shifting magic. She had been walking for hours, the snow falling in thick sheets around her, when the urge came. The urge to shift, to become something stronger, something capable of fighting the storm. It was as if the magic was calling to her, coaxing her to let go, to surrender to it. But she resisted. Alicia clutched the strap of her pack, her fingers frozen to the leather. She wasn't ready. She wasn't strong enough yet. The fear gnawed at her, like a cold wind in her chest. She could feel the creature inside her, urging her to transform. But each time she tried to listen, the fear grew stronger. Would she lose herself again? By the third day, she could see the temple in the distance, perched atop a cliff. The stone walls seemed to glow faintly under the pale light of the sun, and a strange warmth radiated from the ancient structure. Alicia felt a mix of awe and apprehension as she approached. She had come all this way to face her fears, to find the answers she so desperately sought. But as she stepped across the threshold of the temple, the air shifted. The cold outside seemed to fade, replaced by an eerie stillness. The stone floor beneath her feet hummed with ancient power. The walls were lined with carvings of old battles, of warriors who had long since passed, their faces frozen in stone. At the center of the room stood a pedestal, glowing with a soft golden light. Alicia's heart raced as she approached, feeling a strange pull toward it. She had heard the stories. The temple was a place of forgotten magic, a place where the first Silver Fangs had received their powers. But she had never imagined it would feel so alive. When her fingers brushed against the stone, a warmth spread up her arm, and the room seemed to pulse with energy. And then, the figure appeared. The figure in the temple was not like anything Alicia had ever seen. It was an ethereal being, radiating light like the sun itself. Its form was not solid but shimmering, its shape shifting as if made from the very air around it. Alicia stood frozen, staring in awe at the being that stood before her. "You seek answers," the figure said, its voice soft but filled with ancient wisdom. "But you have already found them, Alicia. The truth has always been inside you." Alicia's breath caught in her throat. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "The magic you fear," the figure continued, "is not your enemy. It is a part of you. A gift. But gifts must be understood. You have been running from it, afraid of what you might become. But you will never control it until you accept it." Alicia felt a tear slip down her cheek. For the first time, the weight of her fears began to lift. She had spent so long trying to fight the magic, trying to control it, but all she had done was push it away. The figure stepped forward, its light growing brighter. "You are not broken, Alicia. You are more than the sum of your fears. Embrace who you are, and you will find the power you seek." With trembling hands, Alicia closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. She could feel the magic stirring inside her, not as a force to be feared, but as a part of her. The darkness that had haunted her for so long began to fade, replaced by a deep sense of peace. She was no longer afraid. Alicia returned to her clan, not as the fearful girl who had left, but as a warrior who had finally embraced her true self. The Yornikai came soon after, their shadows creeping across the land. But this time, Alicia wasn't afraid. She called upon her magic. She shifted into the form of a great serpent, her body massive and powerful, her scales glimmering in the sunlight. The Yornikai didn't stand a chance. She had faced her fears and found strength in them. And in doing so, she had unlocked the true power of her gift. If Alicia's journey inspired you, Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of self-discovery and courage. You never know where your own path will take you.